Yo, what's going on, guys? This is One Piece Market Watch coming to you for a YouTube video. This is my first YouTube video on the channel, and I plan on doing a lot more, but my goal for you guys is to give you guys an update on kind of what I'm seeing in the One Piece market and what could potentially happen, some pros, some cons, and yeah, just kind of give you a little bit of insight on what I think may be happening. A set that I'm really, really bullish on right now is OP07, 500 years in the future, as it's got some really good cards to it, not as stacked as some of the most recent sets, as an OP13. OP14 is pretty good. Obviously, it's not going to touch OP1, OP05, OP09. I don't think it's going to hit those S tier products, just due to the fact that the cards in here and the characters in here aren't as desirable as so. But let's dive into it. I believe. Let's start with the booster box. I believe that these boxes right here in the last month have been going really well. I mean, last 3 months it's up 146%. I think it's a very under talked about product. I haven't seen much on OP07. A lot of people, this is they have their opinions, so this may be a really mixed emotions on this set here. I believe OP07 is a pretty it's valued good right now. I believe I could see this going upwards of $400, maybe $500, as the current ones available on TCG are $323, $325. So in order to buy a sealed box on TCG, you're looking at $325 plus shipping and taxes, all that. But when you come over here and look at the last sales, you're looking at $299, $299 as of yesterday, January 19th, as I am making this video on the 20th. Some did $339, one at $306. So I do see this box, as it has already climbed a significant amount at 146 in the last 146% in the last 3 months. I do still see this box running. I think it, like I said, it could hit that 400 to 500 mark, depending on how some of these other cards in this set do. As I will come back and take a look, you have the Boa manga. As don't look at these because this price is incorrect, as they realistically are going for around that 2500. Here you could buy a lightly played one, but for investing or grading purposes, I would stay away, as those may have some edge wear and some play to them. So the near mint foil, $2,500 is what they're asking. And that's, to me, I feel like is about right. But you could see a real big spike in this card itself, depending on the live action. I think the live action could really, really boost Boa's market. And that is also a reason why I believe that OP07 could really take off. Let's shoot over here to eBay and look at some of these mangas. You have a raw one on bid right now at $22.75. PSA 9's at $1,000. One at $3,700 or best offer. For a PSA 10, which I think is pretty good. Here's one on bids at $34.50. And then we'll shoot over here to the sold listings of it. That's Japanese. You got a PSA 10, Japanese at 13. So here's a PSA 10. One did 36.50. I believe that is about fair. I'm going to shoot over here to Card Ladder to show you guys some pop report and gem rate percentages. PSA 10 pop count on the Boa manga English version is 1,754, and they say yes, valued at 3,650. As we've seen, that is the last sale. This is a card that if you can pick up raw, I would pick it up, due to the fact, and this is where Bandai is just amazing. Their quality is really good. 91% gem rate in the whole, through all grading companies. 90 through PSA. I did see a sale on the BGS 10. Let's shoot back over to eBay and take a peek at this real quick, because I thought I seen a sale on a BGS 10. But maybe, yeah, right there, January 18th. It did 6K, said it did 6K. I believe the offer was accepted for that 5K that we're seeing here. And that's where I could see this card, this PSA 10, maybe shooting up a little bit due to this Beckett sell. If this Beckett sell 100% did go through, I could see the PSA 10 reaching up to 4K. Raws around that 2,500. So there's some upside there. If you can get a nice clean copy and grade it, you're looking at a little bit of upside there and potential bigger upside on the live action, as Boa does have a pretty good collectible standpoint with her fans, and the card art always does well for the eye appeal. Everything just looks amazing on Boa's cards. So yeah, that's a card I would keep my eye out on, especially if you can find one raw. Let's take a look at the Beckett pop, though. There's 1,249 total through Beckett. 1,159 of them have gemmed. So that's a 92%. Even the 9.5s, and this is a really sneaky play. Not really sneaky, but this is a play that if you go out there and you can find Beckett 9.5s that are they're pretty close to raw comps. Even PSA 9s. I know where I'm going at here, the Beckett 9.5s, you have a better chance. I would try to swoop up some Beckett 9.5s, maybe send it back into Beckett, depending on what the subgrade was, or to PSA, because most of the time that I have seen Beckett 9.5s of people that have cracked them out or sent them back to PSA, most of the time they come back 10s. So that's also a play there where you could make a little bit of upside there. So the pop count here, though, there's only 257 BGS 10s. And this is where I stand on my Beckett. I think Beckett's, for where their price points are, where their pop counts are compared to PSA, I like Beckett's cases better. I like the subgrades. I like knowing more information on my card. But the pop count here, 257 10s compared to 1,754 10s, right? Yes, this value says it is more. Let's go back and see if there's been more Beckett sales. There has been. So the one before that is doing the same price as a PSA 10, roughly. Even a little bit less, because the last one did 3,650, so a little bit less there, but the pop count on the Beckett 10 compared to the PSA 10 is just significant. And to me, I'm the one that kind of wants, the lower pop in that grading company, as when I grade, I only go PSA Beckett. That's my standpoint. I know there's fans of SGC. I know there's CGC's got big fans to them. People love their slabs. I'm just biased on PSA and Beckett, as they kind of rule the market with value-wise. So let's shoot back over to the Nami SP. This is out of OP07, as this is the set I really wanted to cover due to the fact that it could have some really, really good upside. There's not a bunch of information on TCG Player on this card. Stat-wise, through the charts, it shows that it's not even here. But in the last month, it says it's up 10%, which that's good. 10% in a month, that's solid, especially for a non-manga and the way that this market's been going. It's an SP, really good card art. Yeah, it's to buy one, a near mint foil, that's Japanese at 200. Lightly played, that's Japanese as well at 270. So your lightly played, they're at 320. Near mint foils, they're at 350. You look at the more data. Near mint foil, the last sale is the 18th at 338, 370 on the 17th. As Nami has a huge fan base as well. So let's shoot over to to eBay and take a peek at these. You could buy one raw right now for $360, obviously plus your delivery. Coming in out of Canada, or best offer. There's a Beckett 10. This is one that I'm a big fan of, as I said, I like my Beckett slabs, as I do tend to grade with Beckett and PSA. We take a look at some sold listings. One did $695. This one said it did $750. These are all Japanese at $360 and a Beckett 10. PSA 10, $710. So like this card compared to the raw value and the PSA and Beckett value, it's almost double. Like, so let's jump over here. Let's take a peek at the PSA 10 of this Nami, as there is a total population graded of 2,302. 2,140 of them have gemmed, so that's pretty much a 93% gem rate on all grading companies. You take a look over here at PSA. They valued at $650 for a PSA 10 with 1,425 tens. 91.88%, pretty much 92% gem rate on this card. But look at the nines. And that's where you do see in the One Piece that the nines and the 9.5s compared to the 10s, obviously 10 is premium. To me, I think this black label down here at 1,500, I think that's very undervalued. I think this should be roughly like a 2K card in a black label, maybe more. I haven't really paid too close attention on the sales in the black label. But yeah, so 1,400 PSA 10s, and then you come back over here and you look again at the BGS 10s, and there's only 278 of them, and they're selling for a little bit more than the PSA 10s. This is another one where I would try to find maybe a Beckett 9.5 and cross it to a PSA, or find really clean copies. As this card does have a 92% gem rate through PSA and a 96% gem rate through Beckett. So if I find a clean copy of this card, going off of the statistics here on the gem rates, I'm going more than likely to Beckett, as the pop count is significantly lower and the value is a little bit higher. So that's where I kind of stand on this Nami. I think it is a very nice card. It's got very good card art, and yeah, she's just really collectible. And like I said, depending on where this market keeps trending with the live action coming out here in March, you're gonna see some upside, I believe, to a lot of these products. But back overall on this OP07, like I said, I'm pretty bullish on it. I do see booster boxes start to trend up to maybe that $400 or $500. The SPs, this Doflamingo, I'm not the biggest fan of, as cards do. But if you can, find some Boa manga rares or raws and some Nami SP raw. If you come across a booster, maybe just pick up one up, as the value of this booster is, $300, $350. It's a lot cheaper than, some other products out there. But yeah, that'll do it for me. Don't forget, guys, to hit the like button, comment, subscribe, as I do plan on doing more content for you guys. Maybe a couple videos a week, just on my insights on what I'm seeing, what I believe may happen. And yeah, don't forget to comment. And hope you guys have a good day.